This is the Swarm and Shoot football show with me, Manny Matsakis, as we kick off Season 2. We've been fortunate because we've had a few good interviews. We bring Lynn Groll on here, and he's able to interview some of our players. And we've got a lot coming up in this upcoming season. And this Swarm and Shoot football show is brought to you by Big B Coffee, which I've got right here. And it's right across campus here on North Clinton Street. Get the finest coffee beverages in Defiance, as well as great pastries and breakfast sandwiches to start off your day. And for most of us, we also get a pick-me-up in the afternoon by heading across the street to see Sue and everybody over at Big B Coffee. I'd also like to thank our sponsor, BSN Sports. Rob Held, Jim Garris, and the crew over here, the sales team, are the professionals that you definitely need to get in touch with to get your gear. All the DC gear. If you're a high school program out there listening to this, get in touch with these guys and they will help you out. They do a fantastic job with high schools, colleges, businesses in the area. Can get whatever type of apparel they need customized just for their business. So I know Rob does a great job for us. Jim is our rep that I see virtually every week of the year, and it's outstanding customer service.
Welcome back to the Swarm and Shoot football show. Joined again by Defiance College head coach Manny Matsakis. Coach, a tough 23-20 loss to Bluffton on Saturday. I'm sure this one will stick with you guys for a little while.
Oh, well, without question. I mean, it stung. You could see our players were extremely disappointed because we had multiple opportunities to win the game, and it was all within our control, and we did not execute, or some of the things that we did cost us the opportunity to win the football game. And there are multiple things. It's not on one guy or one side of the ball or any of that kind of stuff. But it's just, we lost this thing as a team. So,
yeah. Watching the game, it just seemed like you take a couple steps forward, and then a couple plays later you take a step back. It was just like you could never quite get control of the game when you had your chances.
Yeah, and I was told this, in the off season at some point. Once you start getting where you feel like your culture's set, your guys are playing well and all that, you win and lose games in the last 5 minutes of the second quarter and the first 5 minutes of the third quarter, and that's really what happened. I mean, you look at that and say, there was that middle lull there in the game where we come out and shoot, we score a touchdown right there, and Xavier Williams scored one, and then they scored, and then we came back and we scored again. Zay got another one, and it's like, okay. And I think we got a little bit complacent, but we're still we're still excited about the game. But I just think there was a lull there of some opportunities that we didn't take advantage of. I think I sort of felt like, they think it's going to be like it was against Anderson. Like that was real early in the game. It's like boom, boom, we're scoring, and this is going to be one of those types of games. And obviously it did not turn out that way. And a play here, a play there, and we basically gave that game away. And after watching everything, we gave it away.
Yeah, and probably none more frustrating than the kind of that series right before the half where they're kicking a field goal and you hit the snapper. Yeah. And they cash that into 4 more points and get a touchdown out of it.
Yeah, they took points off the board.
And that would have been, if you take that away, it's 2019, and you guys are leading.
Yeah, we win the game.
You have a whole 2 quarters. I know things could have changed a lot.
Yeah. Obviously that's 4-point swing, and they won by 3. So it's like one play. That's one of those types of plays, and you've got other plays like that where we fumble the ball going into the red zone, or we fumble the ball another time, on a 4th down conversion that we would have gotten. And then there was another one. It was like 4th and 2 on that last drive, and we do a deal with Terry Geiger, bring him over and QB sneak, and he's got the first down. The problem is we had 2 guys leaning. They were, and They weren't even involved in the play, but they were leaning, and we got an offsides, and that was 4th and 7, and we didn't capitalize. And, that was, what could have been a game-winning drive as well. So, I mean, right there, we just popped out 4 plays, and that's not all. So it's like you look at it, and it's like, I always say, statistics can show you improvement, but it doesn't really, it doesn't matter when you lose a game,
Yeah, yeah. You got the running game going. Zay, obviously a great game with 191 yards for you. Did you kind of go into it knowing that you were going to have to run it a lot? I know you didn't throw it much.
Yeah, that was the point. I thought our offensive line could handle their front, and most of the day they pretty much did. It was physically imposing their will on Bluffton's front, and and the kids did a good job with that part of our game plan, and barring those the 2 fumbles and the offsides type of deal. I mean, total. There's a lot of potential that we just let go. We just didn't finalize the drives like we should have in those key situations. So I mean, that's part of it, and that's something you learn from. And we learned a lot from this. I mean, I'm glad the game. You wish you would have won, but I'm glad the game has lessons for us to learn, and that's probably the most important part of this deal is moving forward. We've got to learn from these mistakes, capitalize on them, and go forward. So I thought that's when you talk about the offensive side of the ball, that's what was there.
Yeah. Tyshawn Freeman does not play in the first half, comes out the second half, and suits up and gives you some juice. Yeah,
and he made that decision himself. I mean, he was cleared, but we did not. He hadn't practiced all week, and we didn't expect him to do that. But he brought his gear just in case, and he was just so amped up and wanted to be there for his teammates. And he came in and he made some plays, and I just felt bad for him because he's such a humble guy, and then when he had the fumble there, he just I think he felt like he let everybody down, but he really didn't. I mean, he was a spark for us in the second half offensively, and a great teammate. And who knows what the future is going to hold for him, because I think he'll be ready to go this week against Franklin, and we should be a little better off in the backfield with health at this point, is what it seems like. So that that's the offensive side, and excited about the the future of what's coming up, and and you look at the defensive side, and I mean, you look at that, it's sort of skewed different because it was such a game that there weren't a lot of plays in the game, and so they had a total. Oh shoot!
They had 58 plays for 256 in yards, and you had 61 for 330.
Yeah.
So
so there weren't a lot of plays.
10 to 20 more plays. Per game.
Exactly. So I think that that's there. I thought the one fellow, Richard Pope, our D lineman, he was HCAC Defensive Player of the Week and on the National D3 Team of the Week. And and that's great. I mean, he did a good job. He had 6 tackles and did a good job. He had a sack in there and so forth. But it's just it's sort of strange because you shouldn't. I don't know. I mean, we'll recognize him like you do in social media, which is more of a recruiting bit. But when you lose, it's to the victor go the spoils. I feel a little. Like, okay, he did good, and there's other guys that did good, but not good enough, and it sort of like reminds me of a story when, I try to pinpoint it, when I was at Kansas State, and we lost a game like something along the lines of like 9-6, against a conference opponent, and we came in and it was like a driving sleet and rainstorm in the game, and we lost 9-6, and the one guy that was the most vocal in our locker room after the game and really got on there, but was our defensive coordinator, a guy by the name of Bob Stoops. And this is why he's a Hall of Fame coach. He was like, we shouldn't have given up the 3 field goals. That's on us. We should score. We should have won 6-3, and he took it all on the defense. And you look at the game. If you only look at one side of the ball, you think, "Oh my God, those guys played great." But it didn't matter. It didn't matter because it's all about the team. And had we lost this game 50-49, we wouldn't say, the offense did so great with 49 points. Forget that. That doesn't matter. In the end, we have to learn as a team, as a program, that what matters is giving everything you got, eliminating mental errors, and making sure that we win as a team, and we win with class, and that's the other part of the deal that's important. And moving forward, lessons learned, we'll get better, and that's what really matters. And I think our players have been practicing great. They're excited to be in the program and know that the future is going to be bright if they work their tails off, in the off season and come back and ready to go.
Full disclosure, you were without some starters on Saturday, and I know you don't want to use this as played into it with some COVID stuff, but you had to kind of scramble on Friday to fill some spots.
It is what it is, and I'll just leave it at that, because it's like, okay, fine, you got to make some changes on a Friday and get guys into position and so forth. But I thought our coaches did a really good job of handling that on Friday to get our guys out there to play. And I give 100% credit to Aaron Krebs and the guys over at Bluffton. They won, they did everything, properly, and they won the game, and they won the hammer, so they got it. And, in about 6 months, we got to play again, and it'll be here, and hopefully it's a deal that our fans can all be there, and it'll be a heck of a game. We'll be excited for that. And like anything, I know they circle this game, and so do we. And it's just another chapter in the ongoing saga of Defiance and Bluffton. So I think it'll be a fun opportunity. And I really do hope that they're 100% healthy next fall, and so are we, and everybody gives their best shot, and whoever wins, and we'll see how that shakes out in the fall. But a lot of credit to them. They withstood some tough situations throughout the game, and they ended up on top.
Last thing on last Saturday's game with Bluffton, what do you guys take away? What do you learn from a game like this moving forward with a young team?
Well, it's funny. Kevin Tong and I were talking about this, after the game, and I think he goes to me, he goes, we got out of our game because we were getting involved in the the chatter that goes on, the comments, all these types of things got us out of our game, And he goes, and he goes, you've probably said it 8-10 times to our team, like, you got to stay focused on what you can control. What they say to you or what you hear anywhere should not matter. You got to get locked in. And, high stress situation. It's like they forgot anything we as coaches were telling them, and we got into that and got out of our game. We did not play as a team the game that we could have played. So I think those are lessons learned. It's easy to teach off of that, because one thing that's interesting is, after a loss like this, it's the first time after a loss that I saw our players like really hurt, like stinging, like mentally hurt, like this was important to them. And, we've been in other games and we may have lost them. It's like, okay, they're more mature, they're older group, they're whatever. We lost the game by, this one was like, we had it and we let it go, and we did not put our best foot forward. And so knowing that, I think that can be a significant step in the maturity of our team. Because I think right now we have closed the gap in talent with most of our conference. in 3 short years, not even, I can say, we may be young, but the talent gap is closing. And now it's the development side that has to come, and that's physical and mental. And so that was a mental opportunity that we have, and I think we've done a good job this week pounding that in. So they go, okay, now let's go. And regardless of who, COVID or any of this kind of stuff, whoever we get to play with against Franklin, unless it's a massive, like a lot more guys that are out, we plan on, we're going to play this game. We're going to play hard, and we're going to take another step forward and improve. But now I think we've got their attention on the mental side of this thing, because everybody thinks football is just so physical and all this, and it is. But in the end, the mental discipline side of this thing is what wins the close ones, and that's what I think our guys have realized.
Maybe a big mental test for your group to bounce back off that game. They have another one this week. They have to get right back up for another one. I remember we'll go back about 15 years ago, and I remember Defiance College when Robert Taylor was here. They lost a close game to Manchester on a field goal.
Oh, okay.
It was for the conference championship if they had won. And I remember sitting and talking to him after the game, and he said, "Lynn, I'm very interested to see how this group bounces back from this."
Yeah.
It's you kind of.
I'll take those words.
Yeah.
I am interested.
This is kind of a big test for your guys to see how can they respond to some
no
adversity.
question. And for us, there's a lot on the line. I mean, you look at it where there's what's the implications of something like this? It's like Franklin beat Bluffton. And okay, I get that. And then and then we just talked, Bluffton did beat us. But if we can beat Franklin, there's a 3-way tie for 4th place. So, that is significant when you were picked dead last in the conference to start out. So it's like, I think our fans and the people I get wonderful emails and messages and stuff from, they see the improvement. This would just really go a long way because, Franklin historically has been a top-tier program in our league, and they do have a lot of talent. They're the number 2 passing offense in our league, and, they do a nice job, this is a tall order. We'd have to play our best game of the season to come out victorious this weekend. But are we capable? Absolutely. I think we're very capable. It's just, like Coach Taylor said, let's see how we show up, or who are we? So I think we'll find out on Saturday.
Yeah. Franklin's coming off of a rivalry game loss to 56-21 to Hanover. They play for the Bell down there in Indiana. And we talked about the time of possession. Hanover had the ball for 41 minutes and 1 second to 18:59 for Franklin.
Yeah.
That is a crazy stat.
Yeah, that's as lopsided as I have seen in this conference since I've been here. Yeah, it's pretty significant. And I think, what was interesting about Hanover is they not only rushed the ball for 255, then they turned around and threw it for 281. So it's like extreme balance in what they're doing, and they're good. I mean, they're the conference champs. They're undefeated again.
That's what you guys are trying to get to that.
That's where we want to be. Yeah, and when that's going to happen, I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel from on our challenge here at Defiance College, and I really believe it's not going to be that far away. The guys that are currently in the program have the opportunity to be a top-tier program in our league, and this is why I love this game coming up this week. It gives us another litmus test of, okay, where are we in regards to those top teams in the league, because everybody always thinks, well, Franklin's right there in the top half always, and so here we go, and let's see how we handle this game this weekend, because there'll be adversity like there is every game, and let's see how we handle it.
What concerns does Franklin present to your team, Coach?
Well, I think one concern is that from all. Now I've seen everybody in the league. You watch the film on everybody, and you see their quarterback Dane Andrews, who's I think he's the best passer in our league, like just the best arm, and they are. It's once again, it's like, in a way, it's a little bit like the Anderson game for us. They're throwing it all the time, and we're rushing it, and we're trying to balance out eventually on some things. So I think that's the big challenge. It's like they have tremendous skill players, and even the younger players they recruited well, and so I believe that it will be a challenge, but not one that is impossible. It is a challenge. We got to play within our game and execute and play as a team, and win or lose as a team, So we need to, I think what an opportunity is how I see it.
What do you want to see out of your team to finish out the regular season here this week, Coach?
Focus for 4 quarters. I'd like to see the end of the second quarter and the beginning of the third be something that when you look at those 10 minutes, 5 and 5, that I want to be able to go into that fourth quarter saying, where there was no lull, we were able to come out and play well at that key juncture in the game. And I think if we do that, then I think we have the potential, certainly, to challenge a team like Franklin. And all you want is a shot in the fourth quarter. We had it last week, and we didn't execute it. So let's get a shot in the fourth quarter and see if we can seal the deal.
Thanks, Coach. Good luck down at Franklin on Saturday, and we'll talk about the Grizzlies next week and looking ahead to the offseason.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. Thanks, Lynn.
Thanks, Coach.
I want to thank you for joining us on the Swarm and Shoot Football Show. If you're listening to this podcast, make sure to subscribe in iTunes. Give us a rating, comment on the show. If you'd like to get all kinds of updates, go to our website at swarmandshoot.com, where you will be up to date on all of our podcasts with audio and YouTube versions on there as well. All right. See feature articles on our current players and alumni, along with updates of what's going on in the program. Take a minute and subscribe with your email to receive these regular alerts every time we update the website.